Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we jump into today's Cardano and crypto market updates, so you never miss any important updates happening across the crypto market, we've got a lot to talk about today because things are starting to get very interesting for Cardano, Bitcoin, and the altcoin market as a whole. Right now, the market feels like it's preparing for a major move, and the next few days could end up being extremely important for traders and investors alike. This video is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial or investment advice. Always do your own research before investing in cryptocurrencies like Cardano or any other digital assets, as the market is highly volatile. So, let's get straight into it. Taking a look at Cardano right now, ADA is still sitting in a very solid and comfortable position overall. Even with the small fluctuations we've seen recently, the structure still looks strong and the breakout is technically still intact. ADA is up around 0.6% today after seeing a slight decline of around 0.95% yesterday. And honestly, this kind of price action is not something bearish yet. In fact, what we are seeing is consolidation inside a confident range, and sometimes consolidation after a breakout is exactly what a market needs before another major push higher. The important thing right now is that Cardano continues holding key support levels instead of completely collapsing back down, and that is giving many investors confidence that the trend may still continue. However, there are a few warning signs beginning to appear beneath the surface that traders absolutely need to pay attention to. One of the biggest things right now is leverage slowly creeping back into the market. Whenever leverage starts rising aggressively during periods of low volume, volatility usually follows shortly after. Sometimes that volatility pushes the market upward, but other times it can trigger brutal liquidations in both directions. That's why this upcoming week could become extremely important for ADA and the broader crypto market. Now, here's the part that really stands out. Trading volume across the crypto market is incredibly low right now. Over the last 24 hours, total trading volume came in around $57 billion, and this is easily one of the lowest volume days we've seen in the last 30 days. When volume dries up like this, it usually means the market is building pressure before a larger move eventually arrives. It's almost like the market is compressing and waiting for a catalyst. The big question is whether that catalyst sends prices higher or whether we see a sharp retracement before continuation. And obviously, everybody is hoping that move is green instead of red. Because when volume is low and leverage is high, the market can become extremely sensitive to unexpected news, liquidations, and emotional trading. We've seen this happen countless times before in crypto. A calm market suddenly explodes into volatility within hours, and people who are over-leveraged end up getting wiped out very quickly. That's why risk management is going to matter more than ever over the next several days. Looking at Bitcoin, BTC has actually been showing some positive momentum recently. We saw green candles today, green yesterday, and even strength going back into Friday as Bitcoin continues attempting to recover from the red day we saw earlier in the week. Right now, Bitcoin is trying to reclaim higher levels within the current market structure, and it's attempting an important retest. The outcome of this retest could determine the short-term direction for the entire crypto market, including Cardano and other major altcoins. The major question now is, what happens if this retest fully plays out? Does Bitcoin get rejected and pushed back down toward the 20-day moving average, or do bulls finally step in with enough strength to break above the 200-day moving average with real momentum? That's the battle happening right now between bulls and bears. If Bitcoin can successfully reclaim those higher levels with strong confirmation, that could create another wave of confidence throughout the altcoin market. And historically, when Bitcoin stabilizes and trends upward, projects like Cardano usually benefit significantly from that momentum. At the same time, there's also growing strength across altcoins in general. We recently saw the total 3-chart minus USDT reach its highest level since early February, which is actually a very important development. What this tells us is that altcoins are slowly starting to regain confidence and market participation again. Investors are becoming more willing to rotate capital into higher risk assets, and Cardano remains one of the major projects many traders continue watching closely. What's especially interesting is that despite all the uncertainty, ADA continues showing resilience. The community around Cardano remains extremely active. Development activity continues moving forward, and long-term holders still appear very confident in the project's future. Even during periods of market weakness, Cardano consistently remains one of the most discussed altcoins in crypto because many investors still believe it has strong long-term potential once the broader market fully recovers. But while optimism is growing, traders still need to remain cautious because leverage continues increasing in the background. That's something we absolutely cannot ignore. Over this weekend, several large short positions have started opening up, which suggests that some traders are expecting weakness or at least preparing for volatility ahead. Sometimes when too many shorts pile into the market, we see short squeezes that push prices aggressively upward. Other times, the bears end up being correct and the market experiences a sharp correction. Right now, it's still too early to know which direction wins, but the setup is definitely becoming more intense. Another thing worth mentioning is the rising global tensions and uncertainty happening across multiple fronts right now. Financial markets, including crypto, are always sensitive to macroeconomic developments, geopolitical tensions, and investor sentiment shifts. Even though crypto often moves independently at times, fear across broader financial markets can still impact Bitcoin and altcoins very quickly. That's why traders are staying extremely alert right now and watching every major headline closely. For Cardano specifically, this next phase could become very important from a technical perspective. If ADA can continue holding its breakout structure while Bitcoin stabilizes, there is definitely room for further upside momentum. On the other hand, if Bitcoin loses support and overall market confidence weakens, ADA could also experience a temporary retracement alongside the rest of the altcoin market. Either way, volatility appears to be approaching, and the low volume environment we are seeing right now usually does not last forever. One thing crypto investors should remember is that markets often move when people least expect it. Right now, many traders are becoming comfortable because price action has slowed down, but historically, these quieter periods often lead into some of the biggest moves. Whether it's a breakout or a breakdown, pressure is clearly building underneath the surface. The charts, the leverage data, and the declining volume are all signaling that something larger may be coming soon. So overall, the current situation for Cardano and the broader crypto market remains cautiously bullish but highly sensitive. ADA continues holding strong levels, Bitcoin is attempting to reclaim momentum, and altcoins are showing increasing strength compared to previous weeks. But at the same time, leverage is rising, volume remains extremely low, and large short positions are beginning to appear throughout the market. That combination creates the perfect environment for sudden volatility. As always, the smartest thing investors can do right now is stay patient, avoid emotional decisions, and manage risk carefully because the market could move aggressively in either direction at any moment. The next few days are likely going to give us much clearer confirmation about whether Cardano and the altcoin market are preparing for another leg higher or whether a short-term correction comes first before continuation. That's going to wrap up today's update, everybody. If you enjoyed this breakdown on Cardano, Bitcoin, and the crypto market, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with your thoughts on ADA and where you think the market is heading next. Thank you all for watching, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.